Hello, welcome back to Becoming a Human again. This is Monta, and I'm so very grateful that you're here today. And this is the story about how I wrote my book, step by step, trusting process, being super scared, procrastinating, and then finally getting my book out there, printed version. My little baby. This is actually the very, very first book that I took out of the boxes, and I signed it for myself. So this is always mine. Anyhow, so in the last video, I told you that I got the scholarship for the course. Okay, I told the world I'm writing a book. Yay! What now? Like, what are you gonna write about? Like, are you crazy, lady? Come on, girl. Like, get yourself together. Go and find maybe work. It was 2020. I had come home. I was broke because I wanted to move to Shanghai, but then they closed the border, so all the work fell apart, everything, like the worst case scenario. And I was writing in my journal, like, I'm building the strongest story ever. I was like, woohoo, like, please give me a little breather. And then I decided, I'll write a book, maybe find a job. That could be a great idea. Podcaster. That's what I heard, from people around me a little bit, but mostly from myself, from the inside me. It's like, hey, girl, like, you have to get your shit together. But there was also the dream. And when I listened how Gabby writes her books and the channeling, and that everyone has something really, really unique to bring in the world, and that you have a message that can help someone. And I already had seen that with the podcast, it happens. People would email me, people would write me messages. Hey, your meditations helped. Hey, this podcast gave me this information and my life changed. I took a little tip from there, from here. And I saw that it's happening. So if I write a book, it's going to happen more. And why not? And the most important thing that she said, and I want this to take for you, if you have any project that you want to work for yourself, it's going to heal you in the process. And just lately, I had a coaching call where it wasn't the best method for me, how to be coached, because they were trying to go really harsh on my book, and it brought me to tears of how they said that the title is completely wrong. Nobody's going to buy your book, and like trying to put you down so that later they can pull you out and say that you can buy my coaching program. Yes, things like that happen. But it brought me to tears, and then it was like, but this book totally healed me, and I'll tell you more about it later. But so those first moments, I was sitting in a meditation. I had my little, oh my gosh, where is it? It has to be somewhere here. Yes, so look. So I had this notebook, and I wrote the title, and I wrote that this is my first book. And later, when I had decided on the cover and on the name, I just printed it and I glued it here. So this is what I was working with when I manifested, like, hey, Monta, you're going to write a book. And this is the real manifestation. Pretty similar, eh? And it actually brings me tears, because this is like, I feel the energy of how much I wanted it and how I trusted the process. And the process has been almost a year. It's amazing that a human being can actually do something like that. And you're a human being, so you can do that too. And this is for you to get inspiration that you can. And even if you just have the idea, oh, I want to write a book. Okay, I want to write a book. Just keep nurturing it. Keep nurturing it in your body, that you have a book you're holding in your hands. Like, I was sitting like this in my meditations, like, I love my book. Like, I can see my book. I can see people holding my book. And I was meditating on it. And you see, like, now people are holding my book, and my books are traveling around the world. I'm not anymore, but my books are. Yeah, so those first moments are super, super vulnerable. I wish I probably shared some of it, but not as I'm sharing today, because of course it's so much easier to share about the journey once it's done. But I promise I will share how it's going with the sales and all that, because this is going to be super, super vulnerable, all videos and everything about the book. And I want to trust and inspire you to take your journey. It can be a book, it can be a blog, it can be Instagram, it can be anything that you really, really want to do in your life. But when you check that box, like, hey, I wanted to write a book and I did it. Like, I freakingly did it. And if I don't do anything else in my life anymore, at least I did this. So those were the first moments, and holding this and just having it in my hands, it was beautiful. And I never at that moment, I hoped, I dreamt of, but I never saw how it's gonna happen. I just knew, I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm doing this. I'm doing it. So you're doing it as well.